Hey there, and do you want to become a confident English speaker? Well, stay tuned and watch this video and you'll find out how the English Club is going to help you do exactly that. And if you keep watching till the end of the video, there's a very special offer for you, so don't stop watching. I wanted to talk about some common English problems. Like, is this you? Is this something that you deal with? Do you feel uncomfortable or not confident when you're speaking in conversation? Do you feel like you're slowing the conversation down, or that you really struggle to find the words and the phrases that you need in the conversation? Maybe you feel like you can talk in a conversation, but you can't say exactly what you want. You know, you have to say something rather than exactly what you want, and maybe it's not the most natural way to say it. You don't feel like you sound like a native speaker. Maybe you're worried about your pronunciation. You're worried you sound like, you know, sort of a stereotypical person from a Hollywood film. You know, how like all Russian people say comrade, and how all Italian people, you know, wanted a pizza. And I know that's a really big worry for pronunciation. Or is it about your writing, where you feel like when you're writing an email, you have to check every word and you aren't sure whether you're being polite or professional enough? Well, don't worry, this is something that we can definitely help with. And if your dream is that you can go into a conversation and you feel super comfortable, you feel confident, and you feel like you're not slowing down the conversation, and you can really focus on just talking and having a good time, and you feel like you can maybe start writing an email or a text and not feel like you're worried about word choice or grammar or vocabulary, then this is exactly the course for you. To explain why I created the English Club and the whole idea around it, really we need to go back and focus on why speaking specifically is extremely difficult. So every single person that I speak to, all of my students, everyone that I meet, will always tell me the main thing they struggle with is speaking. Now, from my own personal experience of learning many different languages, I don't actually believe speaking is the most difficult skill to develop. I believe it's the most difficult to find the opportunities. So for me personally, I find listening is actually a much harder skill to develop. But speaking is something that, unless you live in the country, you really don't have the opportunity to practice it as much as everything else. And that's why it takes a long time to get comfortable with it, because really the main thing about improving any skill is practice. Regular, continuous repetition to reinforce and to learn new things and to improve. The second thing is also, once you reach a decent intermediate level, or even if you're at a beginner level, if you're using it professionally or personally, unless you're talking to a teacher, the people you're speaking to generally won't correct you. So you actually aren't learning any mistakes you're making, you're not improving how you're saying things, because other people, their goal is just to talk to you and to find out what you want to say. They're not there to show you what you're doing wrong or anything like that. So even if they hear a mistake, they won't correct you. And so really, that's the other part of why speaking is so difficult, because you really need that detail and the corrections. You need to understand what you're doing wrong so you can correct those things and improve. And also the problem will be, if you speak for long enough without getting any corrections, then you will also really solidify and memorize those mistakes, and then it becomes much harder to learn them later. So it's really important that you're getting that regular practice and you're getting regular feedback on how to improve what you're doing wrong, or what you could do to sound more natural and to improve the way that you're expressing yourself. And that's exactly what the English Club is all about. So basically, it's a remote online group English course. And the reason I made this is because I have students all over the world, and often time zones and booking lessons and stuff can be really tricky, especially if you have a really busy lifestyle, you have a really busy job. Sometimes it's not easy to find the availability with your teacher, or to book an hour, or to book some time with somebody to start practicing your English. And so the English Club is all focused about being able to do it when you have time. So you basically will get a series of assignments, and there are different membership levels with a different number of assignments each week, depending on whether you just want a small boost to your English, or whether you want a real immersion process where you can practice English every day. And the idea is that you would take these assignments, which consist of videos or articles or questions and maybe tasks that I would set you, and they're really focused on improving your flexibility and your confidence talking about a lot of different subjects, which is why every week we talk about a different subject. And with these assignments, you can record a short video or write a short text, depending on what your goals are, if you want to improve speaking or writing. And you can do them whenever you like. So if you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and you feel like you want to do it, great. If you have 5 or 10 minutes at a lunch break, great. It's really flexible and you can break it down, you can prepare for it in advance and record them later, or however you want to approach it. But you don't have to book a specific time. There's no specific deadline where this assignment must be completed tomorrow. And I just check them once you've completed them. So this is really, for me, it's the way of giving you the most opportunities to speak, the most opportunities to practice without having a detrimental impact on your lifestyle or being something that you can easily fit in, even if you're extremely busy. And as I mentioned, the second part, as well as practice, is about corrections. And that's really what I'm here. And this is what I do in the English Club. That's my role as your support or your sidekick in this case, is I will go through all of your submissions, all of your assignments of your videos or your texts that you will write, and I will correct every single mistake. Every single problem with pronunciation, grammar, vocabulary. I'll also give you examples of more natural ways to express ideas. If you've said something which grammatically is perfect, but maybe a native speaker would say it in a different way, that would also be something that I would help you with. So with all of these, every assignment you have, it's going to give you loads and loads of detail, loads and loads of things that you can work on. So in the next assignment or the next time you have a conversation with a client or a customer or a friend, you have these ideas, so you're making continuous, consistent progress. And especially once you reach that intermediate level, feeling like you're making progress is really, really difficult. And in this way, it's really obvious, where you can see in a previous assignment you made a mistake, you had a problem, and then in the future assignment you corrected it. So you can actually see you fixed that problem. That's one step closer to fluency in this case. And it's all about feeling confident. So sitting and recording a video like this, even for me, is quite tricky. And so doing those with the videos or writing detailed texts, it's something that's more difficult than normally writing a simple email or speaking to somebody in person or, in a Skype lesson or something. And so those things are going to push you a little bit out of your comfort zone. So you start feeling really confident in those situations. So when you have a normal conversation, it feels really easy. You can really relax into it and just have fun using English. So this is something that I've been doing in a few different formats for over the last 12 months. And really, I've had a lot of really amazing feedback. And, I've had people that have spoke to clients after doing a couple of months of the English Club, and they've really noticed a significant difference in how confident they felt in those business meetings discussing their products and their services and negotiating pricing, and they just felt really comfortable sitting and having a meeting, and they weren't worrying about whether they were going to find the right word or not, because they just spoke and they had a really great time, and actually it had a really positive impact on their business. Other people are doing it for personal reasons, and they just said that when they were speaking to their friends or when they had to just use it sort of informally, they just felt much more comfortable and much more confident that they were improving and that they were actually sounding like somebody who has a really good grasp of the English language. And for me, that's what it's all about. I want you to feel confident. I want you to feel comfortable speaking or writing in English. And it's never going to be easy, and nobody's ever going to be perfect. You're never going to know every word in the English language. But with the English Club and with my help, I want you to feel comfortable using what you know to communicate effectively, and then also understanding what you need to do to then take your English to the next level and keep progressing and keep moving forward, so you can finally reach that goal of, your goal of fluency. And all of the corrections that I do are going to be based on your goals. So when you introduce yourself in the group, you can also tell me a little bit about you, why you're here, what you're going to be doing. And so that really helps me to focus my corrections and to make sure that I'm giving you the comments and the feedback that you can really push towards that goal. And that's going to be something that we will work on continuously during the English Club. So if you feel like this is something that might be for you, if you check out the link in the description below, then you'll be able to find all of the detailed information about the different memberships and the different payment options, because I have a few different ones of those, so you can save a bit of money as well. And as a special exclusive offer for you guys watching this over on YouTube, if you put in the code, which I'm going to put on the screen now, then you'll get 20% off your first month of the English Club, of any membership, of any breakdown. Whichever one you choose, your first month will be 20% off. So I really hope to see you in the English Club soon, and I really hope I can help you feel confident, comfortable, and fluent in your English. Have a great day, and I'll see you very soon.